Here we are just a couple miles from the Arctic Circle. Al, welcome to the challenge. Can you tell me what it's going to be today?
Thank you, Larry. Yes, it's the first annual snowshoe challenge for this Winterfest here in Sister Bay.
Got them already.
And it's going to be between you and I. I don't know if they've got some surprise for us at the end, but we'll give it a whirl anyway and see what happens. And for your information, this is my first time, and I'm sure it's your first time, too.
Got that right. Let's give it a go.
Okay. Get set. Go!
Hey! Oh, my...
Larry, here's the prize.
How does this work? You just kind of put them over the shoulders here?
Right like that.
All right. From Sweden.
It had long been my plan to write a book about Al Johnson's life. So in January of last year, I began a series of recorded audio interviews, most of which happened at my kitchen table in Ellison Bay. Al had been sick for a while, and at some point it became clear that he was beginning to fail more quickly. So we decided to video record one of our sessions. We also went with Al to the location of his childhood memories in Appleport, 3 miles east of Sister Bay, and then visited the restaurant for a session at one of the tables. It was a special day, and I'm glad that we thought to record these memories on video.
Tell the story again of when you got the first goat you got.
It was just on my birthday, the 9th of December. Winky comes in.
Winky Larson.
Winky Larson comes in and marches in with this big Oscar goat. His name was Oscar. And he had ribbons in his hair. And he said, I got a special birthday present for you right here. And he took him right in the dining room. People were sitting in there, and the goat come marching in. And then he was going to show, I had a sign up already because we were going to remodel, to get the new building in.
This was before?
But I put the sign up. So Winky was going to teach him that goat how to go up on that roof. So
because you knew that's what you were going to do. That goat was eventually going to go on the roof.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. And he had a plank there. And he was taking the goat up there, and the goat wouldn't go. He was dragging him, he wouldn't go. And Winky got up 3/4 of the way and fell down and broke his shoulder. And when he turned around, the goat walked up by himself and was standing on the roof.
Do we have a special name for that table where the wise ones sit around, or what do you want to call them?
Discussion is everywhere.
Everywhere.
I got all the Republicans around the table. Very few Democrats. The discussion is everywhere.
Did it get hot under the collar?
No.
No.
But I'm not afraid to say what I think, and neither are they.
Yeah.
Which is right, that's good.
Yeah, and nobody's feelings are hurt.
No.
And you go on. But aside from politics, it's also your grapevine, the local.
Politics, the grapevine, sports, you name it. Gossip, you name it.
Remember that time, was it Lars or Rolf wanted to see just how long it would take to spread a rumor?
Jesus, did that go fast. He was down in Sturgeon Bay, and he had lunch with a fella at Samuelson's restaurant that was out in the country a little bit.
Samuelson's, yeah.
And somebody asked him what he was doing down in Sturgeon Bay. He said, well, I want to take a look at what was the name of that restaurant by the bridge? It just closed, went bankrupt.
Where Applebee's was.
Applebee's, yeah.
Yeah.
He says, I'm here looking at it for my dad.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he said.
That's all he said.
It was back in Sister Bay in 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Somebody called up on the phone.
What, at this stage in your life, and your years here, and I've been here 40 years, what makes that place so attractive? Your setting, your restaurant. What role do you think? I mean, without patting yourself on the back, what role do you play there?
I really believe that if you're going to run a business, I don't care what kind of business it is. If you're going to open at 8 o'clock, you open at 8 o'clock. And if you close at 9 o'clock, you close at 9 o'clock. I've had many instances where people wanted to come in after 9 o'clock, and I wouldn't take them.
Yeah.
For the simple reason, I told them that my help has got plans after 9 o'clock. They got things to do. Why? I mean, we're open till 9 o'clock, so why not come in before 9 o'clock? But if anybody comes in before 9 o'clock, we always took them. But if they come in a minute after,
Yeah.
that we wouldn't take them.
What do you remember about Emma Husby?
Everything. Emma Husby is the greatest entrepreneur I ever met. She sat on that stool back there, and that thing had a heart of gold.
Uh-huh.
She'd do anything for you. Anything.
Is she a good bartender?
She was a terrific bartender. Not only that, she started root beer floats in her place over there where all the kids went for root beer float.
Hey.
Emma Husby was something else. She was really a special woman.
Yeah. You so surprised me during that Christmas concert that we were a part of.
I surprised a lot of people there.
When you got up there to sing that song, and I still want you to do that for me one of these days. I want you to.
If I get my voice back.
Well, your voice is good. I'd like to hear that song. Do you remember what you said at the auditorium in December when you were talking about you were thanking everybody for coming and they really enjoyed your presentation, your song, and you were talking about traveling all over the world, but what it was like to come back here. Do you remember?
It's the greatest feeling in the world when I get up on that goddamn hill and come back, Sister Bay. I was glad to get home.
Sister Bay?
Yeah.
At that point, then you felt you
every time I go away, Ingrid and I have traveled everywhere. We've been to China, we've been to Indochina, Indonesia, we've been to Bali, we've been to all the countries in the Caribbean, and Hong Kong and Singapore and all. But boy, when I come back and crossed that bridge and got over here on the top of the hill, I was glad to get home.
You had to be back, yeah. I think a lot of people have that same feeling, and you still feel that way now.
Oh, I don't even want to leave now.
Yeah. Well, this road must bring back memories for you.
Who?
This road.
Oh, and this is Sappleford Road.
You used to take this all the way into town, didn't you, when you were a kid?
Yeah, on a bicycle.
On a bicycle.
Go to see Emma Husby for a root beer float. This is Winky's old homestead.
This is Winky's place,
That's
right?
where Winky lived.
What was his mom's name again?
Hazel.
Hazel, yeah. Those were little picker shacks back there, too?
Huh?
Were those little picker shacks that they had?
Yeah.
Well, somewhere on that farm there's all that money buried.
If there's money buried there, Winky would have headed up a long time ago.
Now, I want to see where your mom and dad used to be.
They lived right in here, I'll show you. My niece owns that now, and I lived here at John Larson's.
Which one is Larson's
I
now?
stayed here at, that was Winky's grandpa, at this house here. I used to do a lot of fishing off of that dock.
Which one, over here?
Right here. You can see it right here, see? Or they got it blocked
Boy, there are
off.
houses everywhere now, huh? Bella Luna.
And we had a,
Here's the access
yeah,
to
that's
the dock.
right there.
That dock there.
Great bass fishing.
So you got on your bike from this place way down here,
And we rode
all the way to
Sister Bay.
Appleford Road,
Yeah.
all the way there. That must have taken you an hour to get there.
It wasn't fast, I'll tell you that. It was down in here. Right, the house was right over there.
But they had a whole piece of land, huh? That whole piece of property?
Yeah, he owned quite a bit of property, Wyman, here. Spent a lot of time here.
What a spot.
What a great spot.
A lot of time.
Is that a dock out there? What's out there?
Me and Russell Strigg, when I lived down here, we used to drive out to Barker's Reef. See that reef out there?
Is that where Barker's Reef is?
Yeah. We used to row out there in a rowboat and trap all the carp. And pick up the carp and sell them to the cherry pickers. And one day we were out there, the storm blew up, so Everett Larson had to come out and get us. If I went out in a boat, I could pick out the trees that were here that the weeds grew up 18 feet. and it's the best perch fishing place in the whole county.
Yep. Tell me about these trees.
Well, the fellow,
Tell me about the trees.
every tree on this property here, this side and that side,
Yeah.
Ingert and I planted, every one of them. There was never a tree here. We planted every one of them. Because years ago in the front they had nothing but concrete.
I thought.
And they used to park parallel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then we changed that. And when I built the log place, a fellow from Norway by the name of Knut Stensrud was the chief builder.
He was your head carpenter.
He was my head carpenter.
I remember.
And when he
that.
finished here, he sat here with me, just like me and Norbert. And tears came to his eyes, and he said to me, he said, you know, Al, he said, it's kind of ironic that I got to come all the way over here to Sister Bay and build a Norwegian authentic log building. And back home where I lived, they're putting up nothing but condominiums made out of concrete on the water. He said, it makes me cry. Well, I never was sold on a dishwashing machine because I washed all the dishes by hand years ago. Always by hand.
The best job in the restaurant.
It's the absolute best job because nobody bothers you. You're there by yourself, and that nobody bothers you. That's good rhubarb pie.
Oh,
The best.
that's the best.
No.
Too bad you can't eat any.
Yeah, you're just making me crazy here.
No, don't rub it in.
Right.
The whipped cream. I think you probably could get the whipped cream down, but
Yeah.
Well, his favorite pie is banana.
banana cream pie. Oh, that's right. Who were some of the other, some of the early guys that used to sit around this table? Who would have been the earliest bunch, you think?
From Ephraim Rasmussen,
Amos?
Amos. He sat right where he's sitting. He died right there. Right
You
there.
don't want to be sitting there, John. That's not a good chair.
He died right there. Ozzie Brewstrom sat
Ozzy,
here.
I remember Ozzy.
He went home and died though. And there was one more.
He says, "Pardon me, guys. I'm going home. I got something to do."
The only thing we haven't had here is a baby born.
Is that right? Well, maybe that'll happen.
Hey, Ingert, did you have any rhubarb pie?
I saw his old stomping grounds out there in Appleport. Have you been out there lately?
Was the
Wyman place?
mud thing there still that you lived in?
Who?
The mud thing you lived in? Was it still there?
No, it's gone.
Oh, because it was just a mud hut,
Is that what
like
it
a mud
was?
cellar
Yeah.
with a door.
Yeah.
Who lived in there? That's what we cooked potatoes in. You're not photographing.
No.
No. What makes you think that?
That's about all. But in Norway, I think because they were in World War II, loved their country and always bragged about the Norwegians. The Swedes could care less. Norway, they vacation in Norway. The Swedes go to Thailand.
Oh, be darned. Really?
They could care less about Sweden. They don't know nothing about Sweden. They fly to Thailand. They don't know nothing.
Next year, if we do a Christmas thing, you'll bring your accordion and your string part.
No,
We'll get you on the
no.
stage there.
That you're not going to talk me
I
into.
wanted him to play for the grandkids, and he won't even do that.
Yeah,
I did play for one of them.
They would like that.
both?
Yeah. It's quite an honor to be up here today with all these experts up here. Listening to Norbert Bly today, it brings back quite a few memories. I spent most of my youth in Christmas time in Sweden. I was there for 6 years when I was a kid. But him going over all of Door County, and as far as I'm concerned, I agree with, there's no place like Door County. I've been every place there is to go, and every time I get back over here and cross that bridge, then I'm home. And I think it's great. I lost my sister a few years ago, and I was at her funeral, and I remember when I was a kid I learned a song that I sang in Swedish. And it's a sort of a song to commemorate tell my sister to give a message to my parents and my grandmother and everything that I remember myself, because she was on her way home. And that song was this. Hälsa dem där hemma, hälsa far och mor, hälsa gröna hagen, hälsa gamla mor. Om jag hade vingar flyger jag med dig, myllret flyg mot hemmet, hälsa ifrån mig. I'm going to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll all be back on our feet again. You wait and see.
I want to begin this service a bit unconventionally. So I want you to give Axel Al Johnson a huge round of applause.
Extend a warm hand and a huge embrace to Al's immediate family, wife Ingrid, sons Lars, Rolf, John, Dennis, daughter Annika, daughter-in-laws Jill, Lori, Emily, Ella.
I'm going to share with you a letter that was given to me when my dad was in the hospital from Dick Burris, and it was a simple thank you card. And he had no idea how he was going to read it to my dad. So he asked me to read it to him. So I took a quiet moment and read it to my dad. He heard it and he said thank you at the end.
Kärlek på himlen fästet Thank you.